times. But the reaction. There we go. Okay, we're back on YouTube. Make sure all the tags are there. Music interview. Oh my god. Started from 0, but we're basically back.
Cool.
Sorry, everyone. All right, yeah, we're good now.
Cool.
Damn. Y'all missed the reaction, but that's okay.
Okay. So, I guess like after watching, that video is really fucking cool, dude, and I think it's like it's a very, very well put together video. I think just the narrative and the approach is really, really cool. I think it's just something that like I think a lot of music videos is just like trying to pick a theme and nail the theme. Like even if the theme is something that like you literally just do with like you and your homies, but if you nail the theme, it shows. And I really think like that's one of those where like you crafted the vision, you nailed it for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah.
I would love like I guess like even just like hearing when I was listening to the song again, I was kind of realizing like I feel like something that I realized is you from like the first time I met you to now, I feel like you've gained a lot more like rap voices. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like that's really, really cool that you think about it. I would love if you could give some insight on that. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like even that song, there's like 3 or 4 different vocal ranges you kind of pick out, which I think like aid to the song a lot.
Right. I think the best thing an artist can do is be as versatile, and I mean it sounds obvious, but be as versatile as possible. And so, you know, people describe me. I mean, my parents have described me when they bring me up to other people. They're like, "Oh, my son's a rapper. Oh, I rap, but I also sing, right?" Or my son's a singer, but you know, I also, you know, do X, Y, and Z. So for me, when I'm in the studio, I don't want. I mean, not to say that one song won't sound like another song, because I mean, everyone has their styles, right? But my main goal is to make a different feeling for every song. Like when I want to feel something, and let's say I want to listen to my own music, like an egotistical bastard. I want to make sure that for every emotion I have a song that will help me therapeutically feel that emotion, and then feel good about myself. Because for me, that's what music is. You listen to something and it helps you get through that moment. Whether you're in the gym and you're listening to something hard, I want to make sure I have a song for that. If you are in the car and you're in your fields and it's nighttime, I want to make sure I have a song for that. Singing maybe. If you're at work and you're grinding and you need like a good BPM and rhythm to get through whatever you're doing and just kind of be mindless, I want to make sure I have a song for that. So my main goal is to make a song and a style for basically every kind of vibe, and I don't really plan that either. I'd say the worst thing you could do, not the worst thing, because I'm sure there are artists that can do it, but my process when I'm writing a song is there's actually a quote, I'm quoting Last Dinosaurs, "Don't think, just feel." And that lyric right there has helped me out so much and make so many decisions in my life since then. And so when I'm making a song, I don't really think too much. I kind of just feel in that moment, right? So if I think 10 hours earlier in the day that when I get home, I want to make like a rap song, and then I'm in that moment 10 hours later, maybe I don't want to make a rap song. Maybe I'm in a slower mood. Maybe I'm in like a very singy kind of style mood. And so, I mean, I know that your answer, I might be dancing around it, but for me, I just want to be as versatile as possible. And the way to do that is not to plan too much. Just make what you believe is good in that moment. And I think over time, you'll just see natural change. Like the music I was making 5 years ago, I was still rapping, but like you said, maybe I was rapping a little bit differently, and maybe my cadence has changed a little bit. Maybe I unlocked like some other styles. And the only way to unlock other styles as an artist, and you know this, to unlock other styles when you're making videos, is to shoot more videos, make more songs. If you have 10 songs that sound the same, I bet you if you make 100, that your 100th song is gonna sound completely different from your first song, right? And so that's the best tip that I could say to anyone trying to be versatile and make different stuff. Just keep making stuff, and eventually it's gonna sound different. Does that answer that?
Yeah, dude. No, absolutely. I think, I guess like other details of the video, like, I guess how did you come to the samurai specifically? Because I guess you could be fighting demons in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So, and I know you kind of mentioned that, you played a lot of Zelda growing up, and like obviously the Demon Slayer. But how did you kind of land there?
I so I had the whole concept of the song, and I was like, damn, but how do I visualize this? And so, growing up, I played a lot of Legend of Zelda with a lot of sword play, and I recently was watching the anime on Demon Slayer, and in the anime, all they do is fight each other with swords with masks, right? And so, I'm kind of like, huh, I have this idea. It's about demons, right? Going into your mind, and you're fighting them off. I could throw a sword in there maybe. And so then I was like, okay, I have a sword, but like, look at me. Do I look like someone that should be using a sword? Probably not. So then I was like, I need like some kind of like cloak, to put on. So I did some research, bought something, got a mask, right? Did some research on like the perfect mask that I thought depicted what I was trying to depict, and then from there, I mean, I already had the whole storyline in my head with the whole song and everything, so I just wrote it all out. And then it was me making sure I didn't look like a moron holding the sword. So I would take classes online, like went on YouTube basically, and I took like a 10-step course of how to look normal using a samurai sword, which was surprisingly hard in the beginning, but eventually I think I got it down. And so that was my goal when they said, all right, here we go. Like I didn't want to freeze. I just wanted to flow and feel good, right? I wanted to feel natural. So I had some I had some loops, right, that I rehearsed beforehand that I would just continuously do.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, if you chop it up enough, you can't tell that it's the same style every time. But yeah, I wanted to just portray the whole fact of what was going on in my mind in reality. And the best way I thought I could do that was to use my inspirations from Legend of Zelda and Demon Slayer and incorporate literally fighting demons with the demons that I thought I was fighting in my mind at the time. So
Yeah.
that's what inspired the video.
Yeah, that was really cool. And I guess, is there anything else you kind of want to talk about the album? I don't know how much. Like we don't. Obviously, there's a lot there, but if there's any other like songs, sorry, if there's any songs that you kind of want to just discuss, or anything that you kind of would want the viewer, like someone who finds you from this interview, they've never heard any music besides the two songs they've just kind of heard through the music
Yeah.
videos. What's something that you would hope they can take away from the project?
I don't want to say winning is contagious because that's so cliche. Um, Damn, just like a listener that's never heard me before.
Yeah.
Um, Damn, dude. That genuinely nothing. Whether you found me 10 years ago or you find me tomorrow, just know that none of this was built in a day. That I've been failing at a lot of stuff my whole life, and with failing came a lot of learning. And I took more L's than W's, more L's than probably everyone in this room. My girlfriend. Oh, there's not a lot of people in this room. Everyone in this room combined. But no, I took more L's than I'd say a lot of people, and that's because I wasn't afraid. Don't be afraid to try, because I say this cringy saying that two L's make a W, but it's true because I feel like I get more out of failing than I do winning, and I failed a lot to make sure that I made an album that I was proud of, that I made an album that 5 years from now I can look back and say, yeah, I learned how to mix, I learned how to master, I have my own studio now, like I can make my own beats, but that's because of the hard work I put in, and that's because of all the L's I took. I can't even get into how many L's I took, but don't be afraid to take L's, and don't be afraid to put out into the world what you want to do, because you're not you, and you're not on your path until you're okay with being vulnerable and everyone in the world being able to see you in that state. And I didn't feel perfectly vulnerable, if I'm being completely honest, until I released that whole album. Like Lucid will always be my first baby and stuff, but Void was like, I had ownership of like, not the production, but like all the mixing and mastering that went into that, and to me, that's just it took me like 15 years to get to that point,
Yeah.
right? And maybe there are people out there that'll be like, you know what, I think it's hot garbage, or I think that's shit, or I think you're cringe. And to those people I say, okay, you might be right, but you know what, I'm out here trying, and you're out there not trying. And that's all I'll say to anyone that has a dream, that has something that they want to work on. you can do it. It's just not going to happen overnight, and you're going to have to backtrack. Don't look at, damn, how do I get up there? Look at, okay, I want to get there, but how do I get there, right? I need to do this, but before I do that, I need to do this, and literally just logically backtrack until you are where you are right now, and then you literally have every step painted out. You just have to do them in the correct order. So that's again my long TED talk like answer, but I mean that's truly what I want anyone to take away from this album. That I'm just a kid from Jersey that really believes in himself, and I think if you're a kid anywhere in the world, you could do this too. And so winning is contagious, and make sure you surround yourself with the right people. But remember that the only person that can grab themselves out of whatever you're dealing with is you. At the end of the day, you have to do it. No one else can do it but you, and that's what this void is about. Everyone's going to be in a void at some point, just a matter of when, right? And when you get there, surround yourself with the right people, and get yourself the hell out of there, and you'll be a better person. That's a long ass answer, but that's the truth. That's what I feel about void. That's what void means to me.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I guess now that we've kind of covered everything leading up to this moment, I would love to just quickly talk about the upcoming future.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, it doesn't have to be like in a month, I mean like a year, 18 months from now,
Yeah.
what you kind of envision you're going to be doing?
Yeah. Okay. So, well, recently, my biggest W so far was getting this. I live in an apartment now, right? I'm not in my mom's basement. I can't be screaming at 3 a.m. without my neighbors hearing. My number one thing was to be able to record when I want, whenever I want. I don't want to work around other people's schedules. I want to do it whenever creativity hits, and any creative will know this. You can't be like, I'm going to be creative at this time, and then like maybe you get to that time. You can't force creation, right? It just happens. I feel that at 1 a.m. I want to do that at 1 a.m. So I got this. I got myself my MIDI keyboard, and my next hurdle that I'm now doing is I'm learning how to like produce 100% myself. So I learned how to mix and master through Void. Now I'm releasing a ton of singles, and actually my first single that I released that I produced myself, I released probably 3 weeks ago, but there's a big video I have coming out soon for a big song called City of Dreams. It's the first song that I ever like actually produced, but not the first one I released. It's a little confusing, but my goals is just to perform. I have my first ever festival coming up in Jersey City, which is crazy. This is literally like my first show that's not at like 11 p.m. on a Wednesday, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I always tell my boys, come out to the show, and they're like, oh, what time? Oh, it's 12 o'clock on Thursday. Like, who the fuck is gonna come out to that? I'm finally doing a show. It's gonna be on a Saturday. It's gonna be like 2 o'clock. That I'm excited for. I have like my first ever festival. I'm doing a documentary on that too. That's gonna be dope. I'm doing a lot of streaming. I think like with all this music, all this music shit, I also like to kind of gain and gather my community of people that view me online and just like hanging out while we game and stuff like that. So I'll be doing a lot of streaming. I want to do. I've never streamed myself making a song before, and I thought that'd be cool. I've never really shown that part of the process, so I want to do some of that. But basically, my goals, if I was to shorten it and give you an honest answer, Will, my goals within the next year or two is to just go balls to the wall, release as much music as I can, network with as many people as I can, keep recording in my booth. I want to travel around. I want to tour. I want to do a tour and tour around different cities and meet different people. I want to produce. In a year from now, I want to be like, yo, I produce all my beats. I don't use anyone else's beats unless you're like, boy, and then I'll use his beats. But that's what I want to be 100%. I want to own 100% of my stuff, and I want to make sure I'm releasing as much music as possible. That's what I want to do. Now that I have all the gears, right? I'm like collecting like the Dano stones. Now that I can do it all myself, I have no excuses, right? I can't be like, oh, the studio wasn't open, or oh, man, I just couldn't find a beat on YouTube. No, I'm gonna make the beats. I'm gonna produce the song. I'm gonna produce the songs. I'm gonna record the songs myself. I'm gonna mix and master them, and I'm gonna make some banger music videos with real motherfuckers around me. Maybe even Will. Who knows? And that I just want to create, man. So for the next year and a half, I'm going balls to the wall. That's all I can say, and that's all I want to do. I don't know. That's the answer I can give. You can cut it however you want.
Nah, bro, I love that.
Yeah, balls to the wall.
Cool. That is all my questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would want to address, or I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, should I make Getty Go? Like, should I explain Getty Go Glenn?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, Getty Go Glenn. So I had a name change from CK to Getty Go Glenn. Long story short, there was a bigger CK in Nigeria that blew up on TikTok. You know, props to him. He also had the same name as me. He was just bigger, right? Like there's a million Drakes. Everyone knows one Drake, right? So I didn't want to just be another CK, so I changed my name. Triple G, Getty Go Glenn. Very simple. Getty, right? Getty, my boys and I, whenever we'd have hangouts, we'd always say like, let's have a get together, like let's Getty, right? That's kind of like the first thing. That's just been a thing in my crew for so long. Go, because like always on the move, always working on something else, right? That's just something that my boys and I kind of live by, and it's you know, just kind of fast paced. Like, what can we work on next? The last part of that is Glenn, and so it's a play. It's kind of Glenn is kind of a play on words. Like, I've always been told I'd be like, growing up, I was told I'd be like a very forgettable artist. You know, that no one would really know me. And Glenn's actually my middle name, and so the middle name is also a very unforgettable part of like a person. Like, no one knows. I don't know my friends' middle names by heart. So I was like, you know what? I'll play on that joke a little bit, and I'll make it Getty Go Glenn. And so it flowed. I got my LCC and everything for it, so now it's legit, right? So that's why it's Getty Go Glenn. And I think honestly, like, I love CK and I'll always appreciate the growth I had as CK, but I mean, Getty Go Glenn is I feel like that's who I am, and I live by that, and so that's why I made Getty Go Glenn. But that's really the only other thing I feel like I needed to address. As for chat, we lost a lot of the questions. I don't think there are really any questions now. But they did say a music production stream would be tight, so maybe I will do that.
You got a great setup for that.
I could do it. So I think something soon, music production, recording a song, Nate. I think we're gonna make it happen, bro. But I mean, I feel like if that's everything, like I feel like I don't know how do you want to wrap it up? It's up to you, man.
Let me.
Yeah, take your time too. I'm down, man.
I guess final thing.
Yeah.
Is if you could say anything to yourself 5 years from now, what would it be? Just to like think, like just if something to say in this moment that you would want to look back on it in 5 years.
I want 5 years from now, Getty Go Glenn. I want you to make me look so inadequate. I want you to look back at where I was right now and be like, damn, I was so bad at this. Damn, because that's the progress. And I said this before in our interview, but that's the progress I want to have. I want to look back 5 years ago. Like 5 years ago, obviously I'm proud of where I was, but I noticed so many flaws all over my game, whether it was recording, how I acted in videos, you know, etc. So in 5 years from now, I want to do the same thing. I want to be like, how the hell was I getting away with doing this so poorly? That's the progress I want to have, and if I don't have that progress in 5 years, then there's a problem. I'm not progressing the way I want to progress. So in 5 years from now, I better make this Getty Go Glenn look like a piece of shit. All right?
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's a killer interview, dude.
And I love you. All right? Getty Go Glenn, out.
Sick. Right.
Hell yeah, dude.
Killer.
Dude.
Fucking kill that shit.
That was
Kill that
fucking
shit.
dope. I'm sorry stream cut out. Guys, I'm so sorry. We lost a bunch of you. There's only like, we had only 2 people in here now. We had like 20 something people talking before, but you know, that's just, what could we say, man? It be what it be. Woo! That was still fun. And obviously, whenever this is out, I'm gonna link all your shit anyway, you know, so you don't gotta worry about that. Yo, thank you guys. Thank you for everyone that joined in. I know there's not too many people in here right now. There's like 3 or 4 people, but I appreciate all y'all across YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. And yeah, man. If I go live later and we game, you'll see me again, but it'll probably happen tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining, man. This was fun. Will, you have anything to say? Or you?
Thank you all for joining in. It was really, really cool.
It's the first one I've ever done of these.
Yeah, bro.
So gonna hopefully do a lot more.
Yeah, bro.
So should be.
I'm gonna link a lot of his shit. So when the video drops, make sure to follow Will. Will works with a lot of amazing talent and artists. Really, really, really talented behind the camera. And maybe at some point we'll even have in front of camera moments. Who knows, right? Who knows? In 5 years, you never know.
We might be in front
You
of the
never
camera
know.
for 2 seconds.
But he is a master behind the scenes. So I'm very grateful to have him. Yes, thank you, Nate. I'll see you guys soon. All right. If I'm live gaming this week, we can talk more about all this shit. But I love.